everybody, Mrs. Vance here. All right, it is time to take our sketches for our ideas for our monster and come up with some sort of combination that we like on our final paper. So I am using drawing paper today because that's all I had left in my house, but you can use the tag board or the drawing paper. So tag board is that thick paper in your packet, and the drawing paper is the thin one. Just don't use your watercolor paper. That's that textured paper. We don't want to use that for this, okay? All right. Oh, I lost my pencil. Let me grab it. Okay, so the thing we need to know the most for our monster is which way does our paper need to go? So do you want the head of your monster to be more elongated, or do you want it to be more wide? Okay, so maybe I'll come up with two different options and we will test them out. So I'm going to do that too. Right now I'm going to go grab another piece of paper. I'll be right back. All right, so I have two papers now. I'm going to do one example of horizontal and one example of vertical. That way you guys have both of them as a reference and as an example for the project, okay? So I'm going to start with my horizontal, so that means that the head of my monster is going to be a little bit more wide versus narrow. So we're talking about using one more like this probably, okay? So we want our head to connect to the bottom of our paper, as if the monster would continue to be, going if we were to keep drawing. And then we want a little space for our background because that's where we're going to come in with our complementary color. Okay, so I'm going to kind of make a furry guy. And I'm going to kind of think about my spacing. And I'm going to go like this. And I'm working in pencil. All right, so there's my head. I've got some background space. I went off the edge down here because that's where the body would be. Okay, I'm gonna kind of clean up my lines over here a little bit. And now I'm ready to add my facial features. So I need to think about all the different options that we had for eyes, nose, mouth, eyebrows, horns, etc. And then pick my favorites. I tend to like the oval eyes, but I'm gonna tilt them. He's a little bit cross-eyed, but that's okay. And then I'm going to give him some eyebrows. So I'm going to have some furry eyebrows to match his furry head. So I'm going to have them overlap a little bit. And then I will erase whatever overlaps. Gets a little tricky. I'm using that like lightning line kind of technique. All right, there's another eyebrow. All right, and now I gotta add a nose. Just gonna go just like that. And I'll give him some nostrils because he's a monster. And then I'm gonna put in my mouth, and I've got a happy guy. So I'm gonna do that tilted off the side, and we want it to look like our monster, remember, continues to draw. So it's okay if I ran out of space, but I'm just going to pretend as if the paper was there and it would keep going. And that way I can put in my mouth still and draw it. So this would be the tongue down here, and it's going off the edge. Totally fine. All right. Monster number one is done. My horizontal monster. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my other piece of paper. And let's make a vertical monster, okay? So, trying to think which one I liked the best. Let's do, I don't know. I'm kind of having a hard time with this one. I think I'm going to do curly haired, but I'm going to make him long. So I'm going to come like this. And he's going to go off the edge of the paper down here. All right, and then I'm going to add our eyes next, but I'm going to make this a cyclops guy. I'm going to give him one big ol' eye. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do the cat eye or do I want to do a regular eye. I think I want to do a regular eye. Oops. And I think I'm actually going to draw one with a little bit of an edge down here, because this will be where my nose is. All right, so there's my eyeball. And then my nose will be down here. And I'm just going to make this like a carrot-like nose. Like so. Oh, it looks kind of like a bird, doesn't it? And then I'm going to give it a sort of a silly eyebrow. Like that. And I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do horns on this guy. But I'm going to have the horns come as if he's got curlier hair. I'm going to have them come from here. So that they look a little bit more like they're sitting in the hair of my monster. So it's a little trick to kind of add them in there. And then later on when we're coloring, we can add more curls and like texture to our monster by using these sort of like curl-like hairlines. Like so. All right, but we need a mouth. I gotta come down here, I'm getting sidetracked. Oh, I'm gonna add some stripes to my, some kind of curved stripes, almost like they're cones, to my horns. Perfect, there we go. All right, and then, is he happy? Is he worried? Is he scared? Let's see. I'm gonna do this face where he's a little bit more concerned and worried. So it's that sort of millennial bean, jelly bean shape here. And then I'm gonna add fangy teeth. Like so. All right, I've got all my pieces. I've got background space. I worked to the edge. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna double check over here to see if there's anything I missed. Do I wanna add any horn decorative item? Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll add like, you could add an accessory if you want. Maybe I will add a, should I add a bow? I don't know. He kind of looks like a, I don't know. I don't know if he's a bow type monster. I'm trying to think. Maybe like a teeny tiny hat. So I can make a teeny tiny party hat. Oh, I made a horn instead of a hat. And maybe he has a party hat up here. I don't know. We'll see. It's a pencil, so I can always erase it if I don't like it. I don't know. I sort of like his teeny tiny party hat. So maybe that's what I'll leave it as. If you want to add an accessory like a bow, a barrette, or a bow tie, if you have space underneath the mouth, you could do that as well. All right, so here is my horizontal and my vertical monsters. I'm so excited to see what you come up with on your final paper, and we are ready to color. Have a great one, guys.